You know, when this particular clip came up the other day, a lot of people were simply applauding the BBC newscaster Martine Croxall. This is because she decided to, well, change the auto cue script from pregnant people to, of course, women, and then a bit of a side role, you know, that type of thing. And many, of course, applauded her, me included, because suddenly you think, has the BBC finally found some sense? I mean, you're asking a woman of those years to just pretend, oh, this is this. It's a fact and everybody knows it. And of course, this is supposed to be the premier broadcasting corporation of the world. But behind the scenes, things are not going exactly to plan. As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much for your company. It's a funny game, as I often say, the world of broadcasting, you know. It's just odd, the way that these people try and dictate to you. I have it a lot, believe it or not, with the companies that I work with. And as you can imagine, yes, I don't back down often because I just think this is ridiculous. You know, why are you asking me to do this or whatever? But of course, you know, it's run by a lot of teenagers and kids, and they now think that they've got the power to be able to force things, and they can't believe it if you say, not doing it, you know. Sorry, we haven't had a wave, have we? Nice to see you anyway. Morning, welcome one and all, and as ever, welcome brand new subscribers. So it was a bit of a thing when this particular BBC broadcaster suddenly decided to, well, break the mold and say something rather odd. You see, Martine Croxall obviously wanted to get a point over there, and let's not forget also, she's a lady of a certain age, still wants the limelight and wants to be known. This has done the job admirably. So much so, in fact, that J.K. Rowling, the celebrated author of the Harry Potter series, even took to social media to congratulate her. But there's a bigger story, as I say, behind the picture. You see, Martine is considered behind the scenes, and as ever, I have to say, allegedly, something of a troublemaker. You don't have to cast too far back to find that Martine and a few of her contemporaries decided recently to take the BBC to court regarding discrimination, reapplying for jobs, that sort of thing. And they were very successful in that application, and they had to take her back. Which is odd when you look at this, because this is the same woman who broke impartiality rules and basically said, was she be allowed to be gleeful given the fact that the then British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Boris Johnson, had lost and, you know, was out of office type of thing. So you can see what their problem is. Now, the people behind the scenes, the head of BBC News, all of that sort of stuff, they don't know what to do, because on the one side of it, they've got many young staff who are now literally in flames over the fact that she's been allowed to get away with this, while others who still remain, and there's not many now of the senior brigade because they've eked them all out one way or another, well, they're simply thinking hopefully this might be a return to some kind of normality. Meanwhile, Martine's got what she wanted, the world talking about her, and this has gone viral around the world, and consequently people at the BBC are treading on eggshells. But they won't fire her. Oh no. Let me tell you that 100%. She will not be fired or even reprimanded. Somebody may jokingly reference this to her and say, oh, please try not to do that again. But they don't want to go through yet another expensive legal case, particularly given the fact that this would also result in, well, that being passed on to the taxpayer. That's right, the BBC licence fee payer that remains one or two left here in the United Kingdom. So you can understand exactly how this story has worked wonders for her, not necessarily well for the BBC. And what it does really show is how ineffectual, and more importantly, just how weak the top management is at Britain's premier broadcasting corporation. Now, what do you think? I'd love to know as ever. Please comment respectfully, and if you can, like and share. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.